Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to start a series on City Skylines. I got this game a while back, however, I think it's a really immersive game, and it's a really exciting game, and I just wanted to share with you guys this experience of playing it. So I do have some games already continued, but for this time we're going to make a new game, and I'm just going to make it specifically for this YouTube series. So, let's go ahead and pick Delta Range Enhanced, which is what I picked a while back, downloaded a while back, and city name. And let's just name this YouTube City. I don't know. I'm pretty sure YouTube is for YouTube. Yeah, that looks makes sense. Tropical. I'm not sure if I do want tropical. I could go for temperate today. And I do have some map themes, so I'm not going to use that. So let's begin. So sure. But also I have the Windows Task Manager open because I want to keep an eye on the memory, since when I have an exceedingly memory intensive program like City Skylines, and then I have OBS open, it uses a lot of information, a lot of memory really quickly, so I'm just going to be really careful about that. I actually, on this task manager, I don't see OBS, which is interesting. However, I'm not showing it. Never mind, here it is. It's using like the bare minimum amount of work. But I'm trying to do it, so it uses the bare minimum number of effort. So more modes. Yeah, I know that's in the content manager, but we're not going to play with that. We're going to play realistically today. I do have some mods on here, however it's only like Fine, Road, Anarchy, and then I don't have the movement mod, but I do have that, and I also have I forget. I completely forget what I was gonna do. So I guess we could just see when we load up, and then go ahead and I don't have traffic lights. I have a very vanilla-ish game because honestly my computer can't really take it because Cities Skylines is just past 4,000 megabytes of information required. But and it just peaked at 5,000 megabytes. And hopefully, but OBS doesn't seem to be using a lot of information whatsoever. So we should be okay. We should be okay. Let's begin, shall we? So it's just about loaded, and there we go. And so let's see what we got. So we got a train. I don't need this because I know how to play the game. And we have this entry point right here. Now, this is a custom map, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's on the Steam Workshop, which is where I got it from. But we can see that it's a really unique map in the sense that you don't really see an ocean anywhere. And I'm not saying that's a priority. I mean, like, you could see an ocean kind of in the background, but it's interesting on how we're so far inland. So I guess the first thing that we want to do is we want to get these city vitals here. And this isn't coming in the vanilla game. This is one of the mods that I have. Let me pause the game for a second. And let's just connect these roads. So I have access to things now. Thank you. So let's see here. I'm going to start with wind power because pollution causes problems down the line, even though wind power is not as reliable as I would like it to be. So let's look at the layout for a second here. This is zoom all the way up. So our water's here, and our water's flowing this way. Now this is important because it tells us we're going to build an industrial zone. Because our industrial zone is going to essentially dump out waste. So we want to keep it as close to the highway as possible. So maybe along here I'll put the industrial zone. And then swap around to here, and we could make this residential here potentially. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to put here. Probably more industrial, but we could put a dam here as well down the line. So that's going to go for the time being. I'm probably going to put shops along here. And yeah, so that's the plan. It seems like a good plan. So let me put one here. And let's get our water out. And it flows relatively quickly, so that's good. So we should be able to just get rid of the sewage as it comes along. And let's put the water here. And I don't think these are hooked up to electric. Oh no, they are. Never mind. So I guess let's begin plotting out the city. I'm not an aesthetic player of this game. I tend to be more of an engineer type rather than an aesthetic type. A lot of people play this game for aesthetic purposes, but I really play this for engineering. That's a fun thought. So I guess what we can do is that let's start by extending this probably. Actually, wait. So we have this entry point here, and this could go across from here. Make a bridge. Make up a ramp over here. Now my priority is getting people. Everything else can wait. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So let's build a bridge from here, I guess, to here. That's the first thing we're going to do. And then we'll do something like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that hooks everything up to our residential area. So we can allocate as needed. And that was actually relatively cheap to do. I thought that would cost more, but you know. Let's connect up here, 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 here. Now we have an avenue type of situation, which looks aesthetically pleasant, but again, it's not really a requirement. So let's cut here and then over here. I'm going to choose for this to also just, you know, angles more intensely. And then I'm going to go something along the lines of this. So this, and let's move it around like, come on, invalid shape my ass, there we go. Do this, I'm just going to arc around here until we get to this point. So that looks good. And I'm just going to take residential and zone this all. Yeah, I know. So that's that. And I'm going to take the shops. I'm just going to start with here. You don't want to over allocate the shops or anything, because what happens is that these people end up becoming abandoned because they don't have enough workers. Which sounds like a problem now, but when your city goes into like, oh, it's inflation and de-inflation, I forgot the difference, it becomes a major issue. Let's cut across here into our industrial area. Let's cut over here. Let's put some industrial housing over here. Okay, so this is the absolute bare minimum I'd imagine to get started. I haven't even done the pipes yet, so that's kind of an issue that we have to address. But the pipes are not that hard to set up anyways. So let's go absolute limit, tangential limit. It's because it's tangent to the original statement. Come on! Why do you do this? Fine. So cut across like this. And since we have shops over here, we're going to cut across like this. And then finally we're going to take this node and connect it all up there. So I think we're good. Let's hit run and watch our city expand. Now we're going to lose income by a lot, just because we don't have any people moving in. But once people start moving in, things are going to sharply increase in productivity. So Let's see here. We have our main road, which doesn't really have. Why do we even have these newspaper things? But now we have like electrical issues because, of course. How are we going to combine this most conveniently? Here to here, ideally. And then here, across the river to here. That would make sense. And that's connected via that. And so far, everything looks healthy. We don't have access to the landfills. We don't have access to any of these, so we can just ignore them for the time being. But I think our city is doing quite well. I can hit tab, because this is also a mod. It's like the free drive mod, but it's also good for first person. I'll get the exact name of the mod in the description, but for the most part, this is what it looks like. So it's about nighttime. And this is, generally speaking, a smooth intersection. Demand is low. We're lacking industrial space. No, we're not. It's just that we're losing money for some odd reason. So I'm going to do. So I'm going to attempt to expand the residential zone as much as possible, and because of the fact that people oftentimes what's that called? Trying to find the right pivot point here. Okay, we'll just roll with it. Start here. So that looks like a boomerang. It doesn't look horrible, but I'm trying to figure out how to use the best use of space, because space is kind of confined in this area. That's fine. So let me get green, then highlight all of this. And it's annoying that we have this little thing in the middle, but you know, there we go. So that's good. That allows our residential area to expand as much as we'd like it to. Oh, come on, you've got to be fucking me. That was not what I meant to say. You've got to be kidding me, but you know. There we go, much better, thank you. We are still running at a tight ship. That's not good. But we are getting tons of people moving in here, so that's excellent. Well, that's what I want to see, because our population is going up very quickly, at least for a small town. And our first milestone is at 340. So let's keep track of that number until it starts going up. And yes, we're in the positive operating area. That's excellent. This is going to cause a lot of pollution down the line, which is kind of annoying. I believe this is agricultural though. This seems like an agricultural area. But also this bend's kind of annoying. But this has a lot of curves in it, which makes it easy to drive in. Now I'm making indeed in the positives. So our population is going up by 40, which is a lot. And our money is also going up. Not as fast as I would like it to, but it's definitely getting there as the city builds traction and whatnot. That's a rail line over there. Not sure how we'll use that. But eventually we'll expand the suburbs to fill up the rest of this island. Add a ton of shops here. Not sure what I'm going to do with this area next to be. Probably offices. And this area will be commercial. on this area could be high density residential, going boom, boom. I like to plot things ahead in advance, as you can tell. When you say advanced, I mean in advance. There we go. So that was quickly done. So we have our little hamlet. And so let's get the bare necessities. We have trash. And we can see that we can put this here. The green doesn't extend all the way over here. Which means that our trash trucks won't be working as efficiently as we would like them to. And we would like things to work very efficiently. So let's extend a road over here, like so, which at the end of the day will be a connecting road for this island. We just curve around here. Slope too steep, slope too steep, slope too steep. Okay, let me delete this for a second then. Okay, that works. And let me do a road like this then. Excellent. So now that works. I don't really like this intersection though, because it's like 1, 2, 3, it's a funny intersection. But it'll work. So that gives us the ability to easily get to our residential area. See, now you can see it's all the way up green here. So let's just put this right here, and you see it fills all the way up green and all the way up into the highway, which we really don't need, but it gives maximum coverage of this area due to this road. And health. So yeah, we want our roads to be as efficient as possible, as you've seen, so we can maximize coverage of, well, everything. I'm going to put the medical clinic here for the most part, because it's closest, because it also covers the commercial. It doesn't cover here though, so that's annoying. And then this school's kind of a priority, but it only impacts residential areas, so that's that. Yeah, but our operating income is going to go down, but it's going to go up shortly because of the land value. So we're just going super casually here. I do not like the fact that we have these pollution-inducing buildings, but I suppose that's the case. So let's see what our next checkpoint is. Worthy Village, 700, which is practical fire, police, unique buildings. I've had this on several occasions already. But I don't think we have any traffic issues at the moment, which is good. I don't want to see any traffic issues at the moment. I'd be impressed if there were traffic issues at the moment, somehow coined. Of course, sports car. How are people rich here? This is a tiny town in the middle of California. So I would imagine that it's very difficult to maintain such a lifestyle of this particular hardship. See, we're already reaching these insufficient workers problem. So what we can do is that we want, oh, it wants more commercial. That's something we can do. That's an accessible situation. So there we go. And the next thing we want to do is... So that satisfies the commercial demand, but we really want is... Yes. So these buildings are going to start leveling up now. As you saw right there too. And they're going to start upgrading. And when buildings upgrade, it basically means they're going to pay higher rent. And, well, really just higher everything. And it's great because we can make more money and spend that money on doing more things, making, in turn, more money. Historical buildings cannot be... Yeah. I'm not sure how we would do historical buildings. It'll be nice if like schools and things leveled up, but you know. So we can see that the residential demand is slightly crawling up, but I don't want to do any major road designs until we actually reach a substantial portion of our operating income. Actually, no, on second thought, I'm continue with that idea. So let's do this. I just reconnect the power lines. Come on. Come on. Page up. There we go. Because it's a hill, so you have to do that. Which is kind of annoying, but you know. And then for this, let's just continue with the same pattern and design. Now it's nighttime, which is kind of annoying, so I can't really see what's going on. So it's relatively accurate of a design that I want. There we go. So let's grab green, flush it out, and let's see here. So we can see that we're seeing some problems with infrastructure because there's water issues. Let me branch off of here. Oh, how nice. A whirly village to interrupt my building sequence. But nonetheless, we shall ignore that happened. But now we have a worthy city, a worthy village. Not a city. We're not a city yet. Also, the nice thing about this game is that it's designed to conserve memory, being that it already consumes about 5,000 megabytes to begin with. So, what it does is that it actually slows down time to compensate for the more calculations it has to do. So we're running out of electricity. So the reason why I have this is that I don't have to check things like this, which is kind of an annoyance. Sometimes I can't speak proper English, and sometimes I smack my lips too much. I have noticed that paint. Okay, boom, 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 boom. We're just gonna fill this up with commercial as time goes on. Hey, look, industrial. That took a while for that area to successfully. No, never mind. There's still area for demand. Now commercial should go sharply down as expected. Residential should stay down, and we're reaching an operating income of 1,943. So that's pretty good, considering that we have 33,800 incoming and 1,900 total. So this means we can start with preparing more things. We have a fire hydrant. Now I'm going to probably put this right here. Seize the land. Trying to find a good position because I want it to be covered alive. But I don't think that might not be possible, just judging by the range. Because eventually I'm considering turning this into a main road, just extending it off. So I'd rather not put major connections on the main road. And for this police station, we can really extend it all the way over here because we have the roads and the infrastructure to do such a statement. Whether you like police or not, they're kind of necessary here because you have burglars and things, and that's going to cause the wealth of your citizens to go down. Nobody likes that. So now we can see that we have kind of this interesting situation of unused land here. And we have access to districts now. So let's go ahead and do this. And districts essentially is a way to group certain regions together for taxation or for promotion of certain policies, and it just makes governance a bit easier. So let's do this, this, and this. Right. So let's hit run, and there we go. So again, we want more commercial growth, apparently. So let's expand it all the way over to here. And then we can see that there's already a fair number of cars. So let me delete this for a second. And I'm considering switching this to this type of road, which is a 6-lane road. And the reason why is that it's just, come on, bridges be like, no, you don't have enough money. And so what happens is that you're going from a 6-lane road to a tiny road, and you have insufficient wealth to deal with the problem. So now we have this, and we don't have access to highway ramps yet, which is kind of annoying. But this should get the job done. I'm not gonna consider changing this to a 4-lane road because that's gonna bulldoze all the shops. Likewise here, but we're kind of running out of people. It should not be the case, but you know, tiny town. Thank you. We have quays, which I'm not going to, which is landscaping, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use those significantly. So we have a high school to build and a few of these. So our priority right now is the high school. You just want one of everything first, and then you can start filling in the gaps. So that would include things like being able to, what's it called? So you see these red areas where things aren't covered. Like the police station can't cover all this. There's still some areas that the police can cover, however it's kind of inefficient and it'll respond to crime scenes less efficiently. I'm pretty sure that's what the gray color means. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's what that means. So I'm just going to build up towards the next part of our infrastructure. Also, everything on my channel is completely uncut. Not that I don't have a video editor, I do, but it's because I like raw uncut footage and it's easier to understand. So you can see how this ends up being an issue, because if you look at this, our coverage doesn't spread as far as we'd like it to. And this is probably not going to be a main road, so let me just put this guy here. So we have a high school, which is built into the rock apparently. I'm just going to roll with it. And I'd expect that some of these houses here have gotten to be relatively wealthy. Not as wealthy as I would imagine them to be, but fairly. We're a bridge here, which is not that distressing. And that's. I'm sad that there's not really traffic flow here. That really should have been a thing. We have 93% traffic flow. We have some traffic here and some traffic at this intersection, which is kind of granted. And this intersection could be a bottleneck for future problems, but I highly doubt that's going to occur at this stage. So we're running out of space. We want more people, but there's not enough to satisfy the demand. And so you got to do this, otherwise it's going to start saying, "Oh no, you don't have any people in your city," or something like that. So let's look at the way the land looks for a second here. So you can see that we have this huge bump. So it would be wise to just put everything in here because this is reasonably flat. And then we can do this district style. I mean, not district style. We can do this block style. I might not put anything on this mountain. I might just leave it empty. Let's see here. Let's cut across here to here. Let's take this and cut across here. Oh no, not enough money. Are you serious? And then put green here because these I can't speak to it for some reason. This is going to help on my speaking skills a bit, this YouTube thing. But these people that live here will have easy access to just about most of the services. And my computer is already running. Oh wow, it's running at less than 3 megabytes. So I'm impressed on how it's been able to conserve memory. In fact, it seems as you progress throughout the game, it loses less and less memory. Check please. And it's using less on my GPU. It is using a fair amount of the CPU though. But I suppose that's normal. And then what else should we do? We should probably fill in the gaps because now our demand is down, which means we can do this, and which means that we can do this, and take this, and I'm going to actually bend it because it seems that this area could look better bended. And there we go. So let's just fill this in with green, I guess, because this should just be residential. And let's put some parks in here, because that's the only thing our city is currently devoid of. Parks. And why are people leaving? Thank you. There's low commercial space. Not enough, it seems. There's always not enough. But that should be fairly sufficient for the time being. Now we can see that the traffic has increased substantially, but yeah, I can see this intersection becoming a major problem. So let's think of a solution right now while we watch the city grow, because I'm not going to touch anything. I don't even have enough money for parts. But let's think about how we might figure out this problem between these two, because a lot of problems occur when two intersections are too close to each other, like in this case. And this is especially on a hill, so that would make sense. So we have an option of going this way, or we have an option of just demolishing this road altogether. The houses on the side doesn't really matter, but we will do something ideally like this. But I guess let's do it to prevent future problems. But noticing how this is going to be like a floating design. Yeah, okay, so that's okay. But notice that it's kind of an inconvenience from getting point A to point B. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to let this intersection not exist. We're going to move this here. Like so. Then move this. So that's okay. Let's cut this out, let's cut this out. Let's cut this out. Normally you wouldn't be able to do this IRL because, you know, you'd have to demolish houses and things, but in this game that's not really an issue. You're just like, move it or lose it. But let me just try to find a valid angle we can construct things at. Yeah, that's not a very good placement, but let's see here. There we go, that's much better. Move the firehouse to here. The police station too. 2400. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I tend to record very, very long episodes. I've noticed that. So right now we're just about to reach the Boomtown mark, which is 1,800 people. So once we hit that mark, I'm just going to call it an episode. And we ran out of power over there, which is kind of an ass, but let's see here. Let's see what we can do about this situation. Here to here. The blue regions indicate where there's power. Come on, go away. Okay, for some reason it still says blue. Let me pull this out of the way. Oh, that's why it was paused. Let's destroy this. And let's allocate this as green, since we would like some green space here. No. Green, thank you. Keep your homes, please. Oh, and that caused this whole entire area to run out of power. We are actually a bit struggling on power for the time being. Struggling. I cannot do the pronunciation. But how does it look up here? If, let's say, we would hop down as an actual person. Okay, that doesn't look horrible of a scene. It is kind of a rock, though. Yeah, where is the bridge? Here's the bridge that anyone crosses over. But yeah, this does look aesthetically pleasant for the time being. But we're going to start hitting traffic issues, I'd imagine at least. Yeah. Especially along here. So we need to be diagnosing and looking at this chart every now and then. And we're running out of power. Boom. And since we have districts, what I'm going to do is whatever our resources. Nothing! Absolutely nothing. Here's some fertile soil. Here's some forest. But here's, well, nothing. Or an oil, of which we have neither. Here's oil. Over there is ore. Mining. But this is farmland, it seems. Now this could be effective because it's right by the highway. And that's a possibility. So we might just keep this generic industry at the moment. But we could add in another area that invokes, what's it called? The agriculture industry, and that can allow us to become a boomtown. Let's do up, go away, and let's cut across here like 2 instances over. Let's cut across here 2 instances over. And I'm going to do this like a parallelism. So 1, 2, 3 hooks up to halfway between here and here. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's so. So that's going to give us a ramp. I'm not sure how functional the ramp this is. That car just goes up the ramp and goes back down since it doesn't really do much. Okay, is it a drive upable ramp? I guess it is. Sure. If the game says it's good, I guess. Let's go out a bit. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Page down. And let's go to build an industrial district over here, since this allows us to do the agriculture. We're just going to keep that as a generic goods because I do enjoy the fact that we have the opportunity to do generic goods. We also need to support other industries, and I don't have Cities Skylines Industries because I don't know, I'm poor. But let me do this. Let's do farming. And let's do thanks. Parks and recreation. I'm not going to alter the things because that's just a mess. It's a hassle to deal with. But we have no water. Easy enough. There we go. And so this is a growing city. Already growing city. I thought I saw abandoned building for a second, so I got concerned. Let's look for resources. But yeah, we are using good example of our resources by putting agriculture here. 1 hectare. So let's see here. Maybe I can make this a curve and then make this around like this, because then the traffic would flow and not stop. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm probably just going to fill this with agriculture. So let's hop down here and see what it looks like. So here's the shops. And you can see like the farms over there, I guess. Huh. Okay, so those legitimate cattle. Did you just see a moo? Huh. Wow, okay. They filled this game to the brim with very detailed. So let's hop up here. Okay, I'm walking way too fast. So let me slow myself down. And then we can go ahead and see what it actually physically looks like to be a person in the city. Okay, now I'm a grandpa. Let's bump it up a fair amount, 175. Okay, that's good. Sally's. I don't know what else this is. Random open block. Let's not walk on the road. Oh, we reached a boomtown. Alright, so that means we're going to cut the video here, guys. I am hoping that I can launch a new episode again another time this week. And I'm going to sign off now. And see ya. Yeah.